with almost nobody ahead of him. John Lancaster, well, let's hope he keeps the belts tightened the whole way to the finish and back to Parc Ferme. Doesn't pop them too soon, but they've had the warning, they've had the drive-through penalty, and it's almost so he's doing a sprint on his own. There's no one else around him. The majority were quite some distance ahead. The start-finish straight is all his. This year's champion coming to the line. I'm sure we'll see the Greaves Motorsport Garage. They're holding their breath. The checkered flag is out, and here comes John Lancaster. Is that the title for Greaves Motorsport? They can't celebrate. They can celebrate.
That was the longest lap in motor racing history for Gary Hirsch and for Bjorn Verdheim. You said he stopped breathing 3 minutes ago. I think the end of his nose was going blue, frankly, but he's managed to hold on. The coolest man in the house, John Lancaster. I mean, I'm sure if you'd asked those drivers where would they prefer to be, in the car doing the final lap or watching from the pit garage, no question they prefer to be in the Gibson in full control of the situation. But because of that second place finish, Greaves Motorsport are awarded 18 points. Add that to the 75 they already had. They finish with 93 points. Thierry by TDS Racing get the full 25. That puts them on 91. And Jota Sport, who came here leading by a point, they got an extra point for pole position earlier on today, but they fall short by 4 points, finishing on 89. 77 and the 12 for fourth position, 89 points for Jota Sport. Many congratulations to...
Just a point or two away, but John Lancaster, hands over his face, double fist punch as he comes to a halt. Out of the car, heads the driver. He was bites his tongue early on, doesn't have to bite it now. The team has had the stop-go penalty, and yet still they managed to achieve, in no small part, to Lancaster's speed in the car, second place on the track, and that was what they required for Greaves Motorsport to take the title.
Yeah, they can all joke with Gary Hirsch now to say, you nearly cost us that title, you know. But
I think he'll be buying the drinks tonight, because he's the one who put the difficulty in. Ludo Baddy goes up, great sportsman, to say, well done, Pierre Thierry, congratulating them, couldn't have been much closer. So Thierry by TDS take the victory today, but the title to Greaves Motorsport.
And Thierry, oh so close again. They've been at this game for quite a number of seasons now, and
I don't think they're going to let Nicolas Lapierre out of the grass for a while, though.
No, I think you're right. It was 2013 where they came really close, wasn't it? And it all went wrong at Paul Ricard that year. And they've been there or thereabouts last year as well, changing from one chassis to another. They went from Ligier to Orica, and Orica seems to be the way to go for that team anyway. That they lose out by, well, it's just 2 points, wasn't it, from 93 to 91 for Thierry by TDS Racing. So that handshake from Ludo Badé means all the more when you consider the circumstances. There's your man John Lancaster, though, who brought the number 41 car home. Let's in that final race of the season. But here then is how the top three LMP2 teams finished in the race. John Lancaster wearing the helmet on top of his head, but in the wrong direction, on top of the cap as well. Ever the Joker. So let's welcome to the podium now the winners, and just missing out on the championship from Thierry by TDS Racing, Ludo Badé, Nicolas Lapierre and Pierre Thierry himself. And here's the national anthem for the winning team. Congratulations then again to Pierre Thierry, Ludovic Badet and Nicolas Lapierre for a great performance in the final round of the 2015 European Le Mans Series, the 4 hours of Estoril. Just missing out on the championship, but nevertheless getting a victory to end their season. That's 2 wins for the year, together with Imola's success earlier on in May. The 41 Degrees Motorsport squad finishing in second position: Gary Hirsch, Bjorn Verdheim and John Lancaster, and now being awarded trophies. Congratulations to AF Racing with their 21 BR01 with the Nissan engine, Michaela Leishin, Kirill Ladigin and Victor Shetar with a really good opening stint. He was in there for over 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. A similar situation at Paul Ricard, not with him, but with another driver who just kept going on and on and on, and then eventually it was time to hand over to the co-drivers. But Shaitar's efforts there have put that car on the podium, I'd say.
He was certainly super positive in traffic and mastered the changing conditions, which is all you can ask today. 30 cars went out to play, and play they did, but the weather also had a role to play in the race. They did it several times around, just for good measure, and then of course we had various extra pit visits, and it all kept it very spicy indeed. But for the last time in the 2015, perhaps not the last time tonight, the winning teams spraying spray.
Possibly in a bit more rain, actually. It's difficult to tell whether there was rain coming down on the podium, but they won't care. That's to get soaked to the skin with champagne. And the podium given a good dousing for the first time today. There are plenty more presentations and trophies to be awarded, though. So we'll give the photographers down below the chance to record this moment forevermore, and this will be in forthcoming publications of magazines, newspapers and on websites as well. And these drivers will, after this, head to the press conference, but we will welcome onto the podium in a moment or two, I'd imagine, the LMP3 runners, depending on which order we do things in.